In national interest, India today exposed the real face of some of the stone-pelters in the Kashmir Valley. How they are paid by Pakistan, how they are organized to stop and foil anti-terrorist operations, and how they are paid X amount of money to pelt stones and another amount of money to hurl petrol bombs on security forces. After the India Today expose on Kashmir's stone-pelting syndicate, the issue was raised in Parliament by BJP MP Mahant Shambhu Prasad. The Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh also reacted. Both strongly raised the issue, seeking a thorough investigation in the matter. India Today exposed the deadly stone-pelting syndicate operating in the valley. We showed you chilling admissions on camera, how stone-pelters were mobilized on WhatsApp groups, how they were targeted, they were sent out to target security forces. India Today's undercover reporters managed to get stone-pelters on camera for the first time ever. They confessed they are not doing this for Azadi, they are hired and they are paid to pelt stones. India Today's Ashraf Vani now joins me live from Srinagar. Also joining us is editor Shiv Arur and deputy editor Brijesh Pandey. Ashraf, to you first, the situation on ground, spontaneous stone pelting versus paid stone pelters. These are several aspects that are now being debated even in Parliament. How is the state government and the state police dealing with this?
Well, so far, the state government completely failed to curb this problem here in the Kashmir Valley. Particularly, we have seen since this operation stone pelting on the India TV, not anyone from the government is ready to give reaction on the issue. But as far as the stone pelting is concerned, that is going on today, being the Friday. We have seen many stone pelting incidents all across Kashmir Valley. It started from Srinagar, then in Sopore. Even we have reports that in the Baramulla there were stone pelting incidents in South Kashmir, Anantnag and Pulwama and Kulgam. So everywhere this is going on. Today it was a call given by the separatists to protest after Friday prayers against the killing of 2 civilians in Chadora encounter. That call was obeyed by some of the protesters in the different parts of valley, and stone pelting carried on, and even many people have been injured in these incidents, including some policemen. But as far as the you are talking about the government, it is not a problem of few days. As Home Minister himself said, that far emerging in the Kashmir Valley where people assemble around the encounter sites and then pelt stones on the security forces. And this overall trend started from the Kashmir unrest in July 2016, when after the killing of Burhan Wani, we have seen statewide protests, particularly in the Kashmir Valley, and which kept going on for the months.
Okay.
And since then, there is not any kind of program, any kind of strategy with the state government so far, which can curb these stone pelts. We are seeing there is not any initiative even from the central government, not
which is quite disappointing if there is no strategy to deal with stone pelters, because Shiv, you've covered stone pelting on ground, you've covered counter-terror operations in Jammu and Kashmir, and clearly there is a plan to which the separatists work, there is a plan to which stone pelters work to counter it. There should be a plan in place. Take us through details of what the India Today expose showed, what we exposed, and how the government should deal with this, Shiv.
Well, Gaurav, this particular expose is one of the most hard-hitting that any media organization has ever, ever conducted. It exposes not just the facet of how the stone-pelting syndicates and machinery actually work, but for the first time provides material proof that there is reason to believe that many of these stone pelters can be simply equated with terrorists themselves. There are networks that collect these stone pelters, there are networks and a machinery which delivers the stone to these people, and a network that actually spies on the Indian Army and security forces when they go out for anti-terror operations, and logistically collects these people in that place to try and hamper those operations and attack the security forces. So this is on-camera admissions by some of these people about the way they work, the modus operandi, the price they are paid for each of these operations, and the details of precisely how they get their intelligence and how they attack the army during these operations. So this is Operation Stone-Pelter, is something that has laid bare what people have only suspected for a very long time.
Okay, this was suspected earlier. India today has now proven it. But Sushant Sareen, you're a strategic affairs analyst. You study Kashmir well. You know the situation on ground. Sushant Sareen, is it enough to just blame Pakistan for this? There has to be a strategy to counter it and to counter Pakistan.
Gaurav, the blame lies on both sides. There is enough evidence of Pakistani involvement. In fact, I can give you a message which was shared with me by a Kashmiri friend, which actually gives details of how the social media is to be used, how a certain activity is to be carried out, at what points of time the Twitter and the WhatsApp messages have to be circulated all over the place. It's a proper Excel sheet which has been worked out. So, I have that with me. I can always share it with you. That is one. So there is the Pakistani hand, which is very much clear. But what is even worse is, see, when senior officers, whether it is the army chief or it is the DGP of Kashmir, when they make a certain threat, when they announce a certain resolve, and then the forces don't live up to that, then I think you really undermine the position which you are taking. So, for example, when the DGP says that if you attack my police officers in their houses, then be rest assured you are not going to be spared. And after that, he's saying that, listen, guys, please don't do this. You are actually shooting yourself in the foot.
Yes.
And finally, and most important, the networks which Shiv is talking about, would you believe it that many of the people who are orchestrating these networks, who are the ringleaders of these networks, are actually government servants. These are people who have been either hired, rehabilitated, former militants, all sorts of other despicable characters who are members of or who are paid employees of government in horticulture department, in the police, in the district administration, in the district courts, in the high court. In fact, I have been told that there are a couple of MPs, their PAs have been former militants who are still aligned with these militants. These are the people who gather the money. These are the people who circulate the money. These are the people who actually bring together all these networks together.
Okay.
And it is not that I know this. This information has been shared to me by officers on the ground. Now, surely the government knows it. And if the government is not doing anything to put these guys in behind bars and throw them out of their jobs because they sit at home and they get their salaries at the end of the month, and then, they are not
Yes.
paying the price for what they are doing.
Oh,
But if you
absolutely.
can't
Let me
take
get
care of
Ashraf.
that,
Let
then
me
you're
get
in
my
the
colleague
wrong.
Ashraf for a moment. Sushant, you're making a fair point. Let me get Ashraf for more on this. Ashraf, these are young boys who are being injured, in some cases, killed. Many lost their eyesight in the use of pellet guns. So why is it, Ashraf, that neither the police nor the government have an effective plan to deal with them? That's point one. And point two, Ashraf, what is very worrying are the attacks that are taking place on police officers' families, whether it's an SP or a DSP or an SHO. So how is the police dealing with that, Ashraf?
Gaurav, absolutely there is some kind of fear among the local police officers, whether they are the officers or the jawans. After the recent incidents when many officers were attacked, particularly their sister houses, their families, what was also being warned by the militants itself who are active in the Kashmir Valley. The main reason behind this is the most of the militant content nowadays in the Kashmir is the local. They are from the local villages. They have their upper ground workers. Even what our expert was saying, that they have their sources even in the security agencies, whether the police or the CRPF or even the army. But what here is, it is a kind of a clash where everyone is secured, including the politicians. They think that they have to be there. They are the Kashmiris, and it is a war which is among the people being fought here in the Kashmir Valley. And basically, whether it is a policeman or it is a it is a militant or it is a Stone-Pelter or a protester, every way it is affecting the local population of the Kashmir Valley. That is the worrying and concerning for the government as well as for the police here.
I also want to quickly bring in Colonel Arisan Singh. He's a noted defense analyst, knows Kashmir well. Colonel Singh, the commentary in Kashmir Valley is that stone pelting is an expression of sheer frustration of youngsters when they see police brutality. Do you buy that? There is also commentary that says that now we are dehumanizing, the stone pelting and seeking more police action against them, sir.
No, I think people must understand that, you can calibrate proxy war better by, combination of AK-47 suicide attacks and stone pelting rather than AK-47s alone. So therefore it is a part of a tactic, and let me tell you the logistics involved in this whole stone pelting business may be even more intricate than say procuring AK-47 ammunition or making IEDs. Because these stones, I have told in your program earlier, are of a particular size, not very easy to procure. I mean, they are not hitting you with pebbles. So let's not get away with any of this idea. The other thing is that we must understand that when we analyze situation in Kashmir, you must have to you have to take the part of Afghan region and the subcontinent into reckoning.
Right.
It's an extension of what is happening that side. Even today, there is in Parthina, there has been an explosion. So the stone pelting business also has some kind of religious sanction. I mean, you and I know how many Ahmadiyas have been stoned to death. So this is the most easy kind of jihad with certain...
That is a very, very worrying aspect, the use of religion, and now terrorists have come out in the open saying that they want people to pick up stone to establish a Sharia rule or a caliphate in Jammu and Kashmir. And this is something for people in Jammu and Kashmir to ponder. Do they actually want Sharia in the Kashmir Valley? I leave you with that thought. To all my guests, many thanks for joining me.